Welcome to the Social Bee podcast with your host, Louise Brogan. Every week, Louise will be bringing you a podcast all about women entrepreneurs, talking about their challenges, their goals, and inspiring you to either start your own business or grow the business you have. Visit www.socialbeeni.com to join our community and pick up some lovely freebies to start marketing your business online today.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Social Bee podcast. Today I am delighted to introduce to you Laura Harmsworth. Laura and I were both in a group program with the wonderful Hannah Martin of Talented Ladies Club back in 2018 and got to know each other quite a lot during that year because, well, Hannah just attracts the most wonderful people and we had a fabulous group. And I wanted to bring Laura onto the podcast because her business is all about writing CVs. So Laura's business is called the Caversham CV Writing Company, and she is based in Caversham, which is part of Reading in Berkshire. Laura, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, Louise. Thank you for having me.
First of all, I really want to talk about how you got started in business, and then we're going to talk a little bit about how CVs are still very much required and how they differ from people having LinkedIn profiles. But before we get into all of that, Laura, I would love for you to tell all the listeners a little bit about yourself and your business and the services you offer.
My background is in HR. I was an HR professional I think from a conversation I remember with you, Louise, I did it and then I moved into telecoms. So NHS, then telecoms company, and then I went off on maternity leave to have our first child. And I never went back. And for 4 years, I didn't work at all. And then a lady who I worked with in the telecoms company set up a graduate recruitment firm and asked me to go and work with her. So I did that for 10 years. And during that time, and also during my time in HR doing recruitment, I'd seen so many, tens of thousands of CVs, I reckon. Mm-hmm. And I just thought, a lot of these could be really improved. A lot of people have so much that they can do, but they're not getting it across on paper. Mm-hmm. And it would be brilliant if there's a service out there where someone could help them and do that with them. So I just thought I'd set up Caversham CV Writing, and that was in 2012. So I've been doing it for 7 years, and it's just gone from strength to strength, really.
Laura, I had totally forgotten that we have the same career path. I actually had forgotten that. So we both worked in the health service. We both worked in BT, and you set up your business in 2012 and I set mine up in 2013.
Oh, we're twins.
We are. That's so funny.
And it's funny, isn't it? Because it wasn't the path. Well, I didn't really know. So our daughter's just choosing her A-levels at the moment. She's doing her GCSEs and she's thinking, I don't know what I want to do as my career. I don't know what job I want.
Yeah.
I never knew, and I just sort of fell into things and took opportunities as they came up, really. So you don't really have to know when you're 15, 16 what you want to do.
You definitely don't. Laura, you didn't do a degree in geography too, did you?
I did!
Oh my God, we are twins!
Although it was human geography, which a lot of people say isn't as good as like pure geography, but it was geography.
Well, mine was geography, but my favourite part of it was the human geography.
Oh, brilliant.
We could talk about Willy Brandt. Population sizes. Oh my goodness, we could just talk about other stuff.
We need to have another podcast on that.
Oh, and I'm so passionate about geography even now. Do you still love human geography?
I do. I don't have much to do with it anymore, but I was trying to tell my daughter how wonderful it was, where she was saying, I've got to choose between geography and history. She can't do both. And I was extolling the virtues of geography, and she chose history. So I clearly didn't do a very good job on that.
Oh dear. Well, that's funny because I'm always telling my kids our school does Latin, and I loved Latin so much. And I really tried hard to get my kids to love Latin. And so far I'm failing miserably.
It's a good language to learn, though, because it's the basis of everything, isn't it?
Exactly, Laura. We can just stop this podcast now and go off to the pub and talk about Latin and geography. Although I will say one thing about geography that I indulge myself in is that I do have a lot of maps. I have a lot of maps up on the walls in my house, and I love them. So,
do you?
Yeah, I do.
I think I've only got one, so I need to get in competition with you now.
Yes, you do. So my dream has always been to have a room that's just maps everywhere. And I bought this gigantic map of the world, but it's actually made of wallpaper. It's got 4 big sheets. And I still need to. I got it last Christmas, and I still haven't got it up on the wall. But it's beautiful. So that could be my goal for this Christmas holidays. Get my map of the world up on the wall. Anyway, anyone who's listening to this podcast going, this has got nothing to do with LinkedIn or business. So the person who set up the graduate recruitment firm, you had worked with them in BT.
It was Nortel.
Nortel. And so she had seen your work in human resources and asked you to come on board with her recruitment company?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, you said that really it was looking at all these CVs that made you realise that this is something people would need a bit of help with.
For a lot of people, it's how best to express yourself. I think people are more worried about overselling themselves, and so they end up underselling themselves. And I think also when you're trying to write your own CV, you lose perspective on it. You want everything in there because you think everything you've done is really valuable, which of course it is. But when you're writing your CV, it's really got to be tailored to the specific role that you're applying to. So it's heartbreaking, but you have to take some of it out, things that aren't relevant to that particular role. And I think people just find that really, really hard because they want to show they've got everything. And actually, that's where LinkedIn comes in, because you can put everything on there. But your CV really has to be tailored to the specific role you're applying to. And I just think that's what people find really hard.
That's so interesting, because the last time I wrote a CV would have been when I applied for my job in the health service, and that would have been, oh my goodness, when did I apply for the health service? It was after we were married, so it was 15 years ago, and I thought that you had to write down everything that you'd done or were responsible for in your previous job. So that's really interesting that that's not the case.
No, it's really got to be, because and that's the other difference, that LinkedIn, you can put so much on there, but with your CV, you're really limited. It's maximum 2 pages. You have to really be succinct in what you're putting down. And also when you talked about putting your responsibilities on there, that is important, but so many, and this is again, when I saw all these CVs, most of them read like job descriptions. So that person could have been anybody really. The ones that are the winners are the ones where they talk about what they've achieved, what they've done to help the company they're working for. So really back up and show the skills that they've got.
That's so interesting. So in terms of somebody working with you, do they send you through what they have as their CV at the minute, or do you have like a questionnaire that they fill in, or how does it work?
It's both. Some people don't have a CV at all, or it's so old, I guess like yours.
Yes.
That a lot of information is missing. And so I normally, if they got a CV, I ask for that, but I also have a really detailed form that I ask people to complete.
Okay.
So that fills in all the gaps. And then those 2 documents. Oh, I also have a free personality questionnaire, which is more for their use really, and finding out where their strengths are and sort of suggested roles they could do. It's just more of a fun thing, that's it. But the CV and the form we then use, and I have a one-to-one with people, because I think that's really important, because I get to find out more about them. I can really delve deep into their achievements and sort of prompt them into remembering things that they've done. And yeah, that meeting is really useful, because I get to get a lot more information, which is valuable for the CV writing.
And is that something that you host online then?
If people are local to me, it's face-to-face.
Yes.
But if that's not convenient or they're not local, then yes, normally a video call or a phone call.
And would it be people, Laura, the kind of people who invest in getting their CV professionally written, are they more established in their careers, or are they people starting out?
Everything. Absolutely. So I've done school students, undergrads, graduates, people with a bit of experience, really, really experienced people, 20, 30 plus years.
Yeah.
People who've had a career break and are wanting to go back, people who are changing career, they decide they just want to try something different. I've also done some for business owners who want it to send out to prospective clients and used for websites and things like that. So fast range, which is what I absolutely love, and that's what makes it so interesting.
Yeah, that's funny because that's what I love about. So one of the services I offer is LinkedIn profile reviews, and you just don't know who the next person is going to be and what their background is, and I find that really interesting as well.
I don't know about you, Louise, but I just hear about jobs that I didn't even know existed. It's amazing. Every couple of months I think, I must have met every type of person with a job now, and then I get surprised. I think, who knew that was a job?
Okay, so tell me some of the most interesting jobs you found out about.
Oh, I knew you were going to ask that when I said that, and I can't think of one now. I'll have a think.
How do people find you then, Laura? Like, how do people find, like, are they Googling CV writing, or what way do they come across you?
So it's mainly Google and recommendation. So where it's quite a big town where I live, and we're quite close to London as well. So it's quite good. People, and there aren't many people who do it locally, and I'm not sure how many people do it with the consultation is what a lot of people really like, because they feel, if someone's really listening and understanding of how they want their CV to be and what the type of role is they're looking for. But it's often recommendation, which is great, because then I know I've done quite a good job.
Oh yeah, so if somebody's actually recommending you as a service, then yes, you know that they are really pleased with your work. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Are you getting recommendations on your LinkedIn profile then?
So LinkedIn is an area, although I write people's LinkedIn profiles, for me in terms of myself on there, it's relatively new for me. Okay. I could probably learn a lot from you on that, Louise.
Yes, we'll stick together, us geographers. So say I've booked you, we've had our consultation, you've written my CV, and you send it to me, and I am not happy. Does that ever happen with you, Laura, or not?
I normally send it to people to review, and there might be information that is missing in terms of years or a statistic or something, and I'll change that. It's not often that people are full out unhappy with the whole CV. And if they would be, then I would work until they're happy, because it must mean that I must have misinterpreted what they wanted or what they were looking to apply to. But generally, it's small changes which I will work on until people are happy with it, and before I send the final CV to them.
Yeah, I'm sure there's not that many at all. You mentioned Google. Are you using Google My Business?
Yes. And actually, I just received something from them in the post this morning. It's very strange to receive something from Google in the post. I don't know why, just because I consider them as such an online giant. Yeah, a letter from them is really strange. But yes, I am on Google My Business. Yeah,
because a friend of mine, Summer Paquette, and if she's listening, hi Summer, who's in Michigan. She is she's a social media expert, but she really swears by Google My Business for local service-based businesses.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people aren't really aware that their business should list their business on there, and you can even blog on there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So definitely go and have a bit more of a, go and read that letter from them. Oh dear. So how quickly would your turnaround be? So if I engaged with you, and how long do you think it would take for me to have a CV ready to go?
So I say from our consultation it's 5 working days, but it's normally quicker because I like to write the CV whilst the information is still fresh in my head. So it's normally a bit quicker. So, and then by the time people come back with any missing information or just the odd tweak here and there, so it's normally within a week.
Brilliant.
But you'd be ready to uploading it onto job sites or sending it out and applying for things.
And in terms of me being quite ignorant about CVs in 2019, 2020, do people add in fancy headings and fonts or images, or is it the plainer the better?
So I don't know if you've heard of ATS, which is applicant tracking software.
No.
It's used by, I don't know what the percentage is, but it's very high, something like 80% of recruiters use it. And your CV when it's received in is